A lot of companies argue, well, it's low exposure to these chemicals, but it's low chronic exposure, meaning every single day you're exposed to these chemicals that are causing disease. They're causing cancer, a lot of reproductive issues. And when you're putting it on your skin is the largest organ in your body. You are in turn directly into your bloodstream. And so you really have to know what's in the products that you're using.
Let's ditch the quick fix and dive into today's conversation.
All right, welcome everybody. My guest today is Alexis McClay. After years of suffering from problem skin such as adult acne and psoriasis that was not only painful but caused insecurity and dimmed their glow, Alexis and her sister Kimber set out to find a natural solution that actually worked. They decided to ditch chemical products that left harsh side effects and go green. The twins spent over a year developing natural nutrient-dense formulas with their labs that cured their skin issues and thus developed KOA Life. Kimber, a beauty guru and a designer, brought her wealth of product knowledge and design to KOA Life. And as a biohacker, Alexis infused her health hacks into creating top formulas, utilizing the medicinal power of plants to create natural skincare brand. They are now on a mission to help women get their glow back. Welcome, Alexis. It's exciting to have you here today to talk about a really important health topic, skincare.
It's such a personal topic for me. Really diving deep into healthy skin and a healthy body has changed my life in so many great ways. So I'm just here to share some knowledge and hopefully shed light on some of the chemicals that are in a lot of products and get people to make that switch to go green.
That's great. So share just a little bit more of your history, as far as what kind of got you going on this path.
Sure. Well, I started my skincare brand because I actually was having my own personal skin issues. But before I kind of dive into that, I want to just rewind a little and get into my my career path, because I actually with my identical twin sister, Kimber, for years. It is a fashion house that we ran for the last 11 years together in this kind of structure where we were running a big corporation. We had 35 employees. We were up really early at work. We were staying up late at work, getting home. Our life really was our career. And not only were we working a ton, but after work, we were going straight into an intense workout, or we would be out in the scene kind of upholding this lifestyle and this brand identity of being kind of an it hot brand label in Hollywood. So in essence, we were kind of burning the candle at both ends. And in our 20s, that was fun and easy to do. But eventually we hit a wall and we got to a point where our bodies just wouldn't recover like they used to. And to go back a little, before I was an entrepreneur, my twin sister and I were competitive athletes. So I have really good understanding of the body. I also really had the kind of work ethic to know how to train and how to take care of my body. So I was also a super health nut. I worked at a cancer research lab when I was really young. So I always had this fascination with optimizing the body. And I just had lost track of that a little, being an entrepreneur and being in the scene. So when I hit a wall, naturally, I knew I had to do these big changes, and I kind of gravitated towards biohacking. And so I started using supplements and incorporating all these amazing medicinal plants into my daily routine, and started to really become obsessed with optimizing the body. And at that time, this huge shift happened where I veered away from fashion a little and the nightlife and really veered towards the wellness industry and putting my health first. And so I decided to make a huge shift in my career. I still have our fashion brand, but I veered into the wellness industry, and I launched KOA Life with my twin sister, which is our natural vegan skincare brand. And it's really supercharged by a lot of these medicinal plants that we were using in our supplement routine and which we had discovered biohacking. So something great came out of this shift in our life, and we launched in 2020. And now we've just been on a mission to really help natural, healthy skincare be accessible and affordable to all women, selling at retailers like Target and Ipsy and Rite Aid and Macy's and Urban Outfitters. So we're trying to bring it to the masses. We just think that health should be accessible to everyone. So KOA Life, why I started these natural formulas is really because I hit my 30s, and because of this lifestyle change, because of lack of sleep, because of not really making the right lifestyle choices and just eating poorly and being stressed out from running this company, I started to see dramatic changes in my skin. So I developed hormonal cystic acne. My sister had psoriasis, the tone and texture changed, and I was just seeing like a lot of weather and wear down from lifestyle changes. So I didn't want to put chemical products on my skin every day. I started to really look into some of the effects of these chemical products over time. So I decided to take matters into my own hands and developed formulas that actually worked using some of these medicinal plants. And I've personally tried every single product. It literally transformed and healed my skin. And now I'm just sharing these formulas with other women through KOA Life.
That is really exciting. That's a good background. I didn't know you had the competitive athlete and some of the other experience that you've had. So, what have you found in that journey that really led you to understand how toxic chemicals impact the body? I mean, it's like when you put anything on your body, it's like eating it. Is that kind of what you found?
It's so true. And I'm hoping just from this conversation that I can bring to light some of these chemicals that will blow your mind that are actually in skincare. And the thing to understand is, so a lot of companies argue, well, it's low exposure to these chemicals, but it's low chronic exposure, meaning every single day you're exposed to these chemicals that are causing disease. They're causing cancer, a lot of reproductive issues. They're actually shown in studies to alter the DNA in male sperm to cause early puberty, do liver and kidney damage. There are so many effects on the body. And when you're putting it on your skin is the largest organ in your body. You are in turn directly into your bloodstream. And so you really have to know what's in the products that you're using. And it said on Daily in the US about women use about 12 different personal skincare products, most of them going on the skin that can have up to 185 different chemicals in them. Men use, I think, about 6 different personal care products a day, which have about 85 different chemicals in them. So that means you're exposed on the daily to a plethora of different chemicals, which is really scary when you think about it.
It's huge.
Some of the most common chemicals, and I'm just going to go through this list and it's going to this is actually legal in the United States to use in products, is formaldehyde and different forms of formaldehyde. We know that this is cancerous. It's a carcinogen, yet it's in a lot of skin. The preservative. Mercury, which we know causes kidney damage and other nervous system damage, is in a lot of chemical skincare products and cosmetics, nail polish, shampoo, things like PFAS, which are used as preservatives, also can be linked to cancer. Sulfates, which on their own, sulfates are irritants to the body. So they might cause allergies and irritation, inflammation. But the problem is that in the manufacturing process, these sulfates are usually contaminated with doxane, which is also a known cancer agent. And then finally, retinols. People are just obsessed with this anti-aging craze using retinols, but it's shown that constant exposure to retinols on the skin are actually increasing skin lesions and tumors in sun-exposed skin. So that means if you live in California or anywhere where it's sunny and you're getting sun on your skin daily, you're exposed to having these cancerous tumors and lesions happen from using this anti-aging chemical product. So if you think about it, you really want to make sure that you're ditching these chemicals and using natural products.
There's a couple of follow-ups. I don't want to go on too many rabbit trails because this is really good information. But, ultimately, like you said, there's so many chemicals that men and women are using. And that's just on their skin. That's not all the other environmental exposures that are coming at them as well that has that impact. So at the cellular level, we've got this, this stress that doesn't allow the body to be efficient. So, and you touched and this is one of the rabbit trails I wanted to go real quick is, the sunshine. Most people fear the sun, and really it's not the sun if you use it properly, it's what's going on in your body. And have you found with your products, and we'll get into them a little bit as we get down the interview a little bit, but that, you can be a little bit safer in the sun without using all those terrible chemicals and using plant-based, skincare.
Definitely. And I think, the sunshine is so good for you. If you're in the sun about 2 hours after you wake up in the morning and you sun gaze and you're letting that light in, it actually helps to stimulate your melatonin production for later on during the day. So it's actually a really important part for your circadian rhythm and for your overall health and just getting vitamin D. There's so many benefits, but you want to be careful, obviously, the length of exposure. And then again, if you're having any kind of chemical products on your skin while you're in the sun, that's where it becomes dangerous. But with a lot of our products that we have developed, we have natural agents that actually work to reverse sun damage. So they get rid of that hyperpigmentation, those dark spots that are caused from overproduction of melanin from being in UV light, and it actually can reverse sun damage. And a lot of the oils can protect you from the effects of the UV exposure in the sun. So things like our vitamin C brightening cleanser, which we are offering a free cleanser to listeners on the show. It's one of our hero products. We have so many amazing reviews on it because the before and afters and testimonials of using our vitamin C brightening cleanser have been amazing. Dark spots have been erased, sun damage has been erased, it brightens and lightens the skin. It's just amazing how it really can help protect from the sun. And then we have our vitamin C brightening oil, which we kind of sell in a combination together. Also, agents in it that help to reverse sun damage and protect the skin. There's nourishing oils that actually can act as a guard from the sun. Again, you want to be careful how long you're spending in the sun. It's said about every 20 minutes, you should kind of take a little break and go back in. But there's natural ways, like Mother Nature has provided us with natural ways to protect and repair from sun damage.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I appreciate that. So coming back a little bit to the toxicity, of these chemicals and how it's kind of impacted things like acne, psoriasis. You were sharing your personal stories on that, and the hyperpigmentation that you're talking about. What are some of the other skin conditions? And here's what I really liked about when I was doing a little bit of prep for this interview was, you're looking at the skincare as a health product, not just a cosmetic or an appearance, but really what true wonderful appearance is derived from is the health aspects of the body, and so what are some of the other skin conditions? I was thinking of things like eczema and dry, flaky hair, oily skin, those kinds of things. Are those all within, the areas of skin health that you're looking at?
Yeah. So with KOA Life, as I mentioned, we combined a lot of these medicinal plants that we were using ourselves in our biohacking journey. So they work to target skin issues and actually treat them. So going into, first I'll go into our herbal complex. So a lot of the ingredients that we use in most of our formulations, and just to be clear, our formulas are doctor formulated. They're natural, but they're made by chemists and amazing herbologists. One of our lead doctors is actually really deep in lineage in Korean beauty. And so she applies her Eastern practice and kind of combines it with Western practice in beauty, utilizing these amazing roots and extracts and fruits and berries and seeds and oils that actually work to heal the body and support the body. So a lot of times we should look at treating the root cause and not just a symptom. And so you do that through internal health, which we'll get to a little bit later, but also through what you apply topically. So things like treating acne and aging, we love using full spectrum CBD. We have some of our premium effects that use like a really potent full spectrum CBD, and CBD works with your endocannabinoid system to actually strengthen your skin barrier. So that's the outer layer of your skin, and that helps with overall skin texture and tone and just the health of your skin, making it radiant and really strong. It also works to raise anandamide levels in your body. So that works with your body to reduce inflammation. Inflammation is what causes things like that redness and puffiness, acne, breakouts, irritation. So it really reduces inflammation. And that's so key, both for internal health and for your external beauty. It also works to just like calm and soothe the skin, making it super radiant. We love to use things like astragalus root, hibiscus flower, eucalyptus. Eucalyptus has been shown to be a natural astringent. So for me, on my skin journey, when I was having these incredible breakouts that were not only really embarrassing, but they were painful, they were red, anything I would put on my skin topically just made it worse, especially chemicals. So having things like eucalyptus and witch hazel, which is in one of our Miss Me toners that treats acne, is so good to soothe the skin. It kills bacteria under the skin. So before you're going to put on an oil or a moisturizer, knowing to just have actual cleansed and purified skin and no bacteria in the pores or in the hair follicle, that it's clean and prepped before you put anything on it. It helps with breakouts. It promotes blood flow and circulation to the skin, which is so important to have a healthy radiant. Right. Same within the body. And then using licorice root, astragalus, which these things actually promote collagen production and they stop the degradation of elastin. So for those that don't know a lot about kind of the appearance of skin, collagen is what gives the skin structure and form. So giving that plump look. And then elastin is kind of that stretchiness. So like an elastic, the ability for the skin to bounce back. And as you get older, both those things start to degrade. So licorice root hibiscus actually helps with anti-aging. So there's a lot of, without going too far into all of it, there's a lot of ways that these natural plants, if you have the right complex and the right combination, can actually work together to support the body for anti-aging and to treat these different skin issues and actually skin disorders.
Well, at 62, I think I need to invest in some of that myself. I've dealt with some of skin issues since I was a child, so I really appreciate the ideas that are behind that. So you said that you've got a doctor, you've got labs, all these kind of things. Ultimately, what is the source of the plants that you use? How do you source your plants to utilize?
Well, everything is made in the United States. Our labs are in Colorado and California, where all of our products come from. So they're in really beautiful climates. One of the issues right now, going back to sort of that chemical conversation, is that there is a huge rise on imports. So currently, the US imports skincare products made in about 181 different countries, with a huge rise, about 79% in imports from China, where the legislation and regulation for chemical products is super lenient or doesn't exist. So a lot of these products coming in are filled with chemicals. We make sure to have the highest integrity and the highest quality in our products. They're all from California and Colorado. We do extensive testing before it's ever released to the market. That's one of the other problems is the FDA. It really highly regulates the food industry, but there's not those same regulations for skincare products. So they just actually rely on the personal care industry to regulate itself. So a lot of times these chemical products, they fly under the radar. But for us, we are about brand integrity. So we test everything. We have all our COAs, all of our data safety sheets. And of course, we test on ourselves every single product as well.
That's exciting. And it's so important. What is the percentage of skincare lines? I'm guessing it's in the high 90% that are basically chemical based. What's percentage of skincare lines that are natural based?
Yeah, I mean, thank God there is a trend now. People are really starting to see more so they're embracing health and wellness. And I think this notion of personal care and really being the CEO of your own health came into play. And I'm so happy about this. And this is the concept of biohacking, but it's now transcending. So there's a rise of much of these chemicals are actually hidden in a fragrance or a dye or considered a trade secret or proprietary information. So a lot of times companies can get away with putting chemicals in and it's not listed on the label. Customers can't make an educated decision. They don't know. They don't see the hidden products. So it could say natural, but it's not. So I'm just going to say to your audience, make sure you really look into the brand, look into all the ingredients. We list everything on our packaging. There's nothing that's hidden. It's all natural. They come from plant extracts, whole foods, everything like that. You can pronounce the name of all of the ingredients. There's natural preservatives, a few natural alcohols, but they're all plant-based and good for the body.
That's really so important. So it sounds like your particular natural line is a bit unique, even within the natural care. From what you're sharing, it's a step above. It sounds like.
It is. And I think after I started really doing a deep dive into some of these chemicals and also into my own internal health and really shifting my lifestyle, shifting some of the decisions on the products I was putting on my skin and just seeing as a woman that's in her reproductive years, when I decide to have children, there's no way that I'm putting these chemicals on my skin. And I certainly don't want that for anyone else. So just having transparency as a company, being ethical, having quality products, making sure everything is natural, that I personally vouch for it as the face of my company, that I'm giving my customers the best and being able to heal people is so important to me. This isn't just about making money for me. This is every company I start. It's such a personal mission for me. I really believe in creating strong women, mind and body. Our KOA actually means warrior, and it's all about creating strong women. So it's absolutely a deal breaker for me not to have just the best top quality ingredients in KOA Life.
It is so encouraging to me for your thoughts on how the skin is connected to overall health. And you'll get some argument with some people that the skin is the largest organ. I've always been in that camp. The skin is the largest organ of the body, but there's some scientists and research that would argue that the mucosa of our digestive tract has got a larger and that's what I'd like to get into is basically when you put something on your skin, it's going to be absorbed into the body and just like eating it. So the importance of gut health to good skin health? And we've kind of touched that on it a little bit. So what have you done, relative to, just general gut health, to help the skin?
Yeah, and it's interesting you say that, because gut health is the first place that I recommend people start. It's the easiest place. Change your diet, make a few better lifestyle choices, and really reduce those foods that create inflammation in the body. So gut health is a great place to start. It's one of the key things that really is a telltale sign for your skin health. And a lot of times, your skin is your first impression. It's a sign of what's going on inside the body. A lot of times, a sign of your biological age. And so what happens is there's a thing called the gut-skin axis. And so when people say a healthy gut microbiome is a healthy skin microbiome, it's very true. So when there's disruption in the skin microbiome, a lot of times that's accompanied by disruption in the gut microbiome. And the microbiome is responsible for regulating the immune system and also for regulating homeostasis in the body. So that balance in the body. So when something's altered, it's sort of like an reaction. So I always say the easiest place to start is really work on your gut health. So depending on your diet, some of the things that have been so beneficial for me and that have made the biggest changes for me is just incorporating some other things, some supplements, some better foods. So I started incorporating organ meats, and I know a lot of people think organ meats, that's kind of weird, but they are so nourishing to the body. I do ancestral supplements, and they're dehydrated capsules of dehydrated nose to tail capsules. So it's really easy to incorporate on the daily into your diet. Again, if you're vegan, you're probably not going to do this, but if you're not, this is such a good way to get all of those trace minerals, vitamins, antioxidants, folates, B12s, iron, all those things that you need. So I was having gut issues. I did a week on ancestral supplements and then a week on a high fiber diet, and it completely reset my body. So going to high fiber, any of those fruits and vegetables that work to really eliminate and detox the body. It's so good for a healthy gut microbiome. And then also doing things like incorporating more nitric oxide. So fruits and vegetables, dark leafy greens, pomegranates, watermelon, anything like that that has high nitric content, that just helps for blood flow and circulation, blood flow, fresh oxygen to the organs, to the skin. That's what keeps you healthy. It's really so good for the body. So easy to do. You take supplements, but really getting those leafy greens into your diet. And then incorporating strawberries, seaweed, things that are high in fisetin is also such an easy way to improve gut health and just your overall skin health. So I love some chlorella, some bentonite clay, some charcoal, really to just flush my body of those toxins or heavy metals that happen during the day from just exposure, environmental exposure, even from a lot of foods or from other vegetables that might have heavy metals in them. So I do that before I go to sleep. I like to just flush it out of my system. I also am a huge fan of incorporating some natural supplements into your daily routine. I do a turkey tail mushroom, which is so good for the gut. A little bit of shiitake, which is good for hair, skin, and nails. I add in my glutathione, high potency vitamin C drips a few times a month. I love that. So good for radiant skin. Also just making sure you're getting your pre and probiotics. So you guys, easy way to just help work on your gut health.
That is awesome. There's so many opportunities there. And, ultimately it's about flooding your body with these good things. And naturally you're going to kind of eliminate a lot of the bad things you're putting into your body by just taking on a different lifestyle. Another question in that line of just general health, you said you kind of tried to, at least, it doesn't sound like you're not a busy person. It sounds like you're a very busy person, but you've tried to kind of manage your stress a little bit better. So that's a huge one. And it sounds like you're still doing some exercise routines as well for just overall health and skin health.
Yeah, definitely. So I think improving your health and being kind of optimizing body, being obsessed with optimizing body, like that's a work in progress. Hopefully that never stops. And I'm sure as technology starts to advance, we'll have more and more options there. Because I also do a lot of biohacking techniques that I think are amazing for the skin and body. But yeah, things like reducing inflammation. Inflammation causes havoc in the body, havoc in the skin, and then quality of sleep. If there's one easy thing you can do, it's getting more sleep. The right times, better quality of sleep. If you think about stress, when we're not sleeping properly, we go to bed too late, we produce high levels of cortisol. Cortisol actually stimulates overproduction of oil. So When you see acne happening, a lot of times it's from poor quality of sleep or stress. So you're producing too much oil, which are right by these teeny little hair follicles. That's where the glands are. So it causes congestion and acne. And so a lot of people are like, well, I want to put on a cream, chemical cream to treat that. But really what you need to do is look at your daily pattern, your lifestyle. Am I inflamed? Am I eating properly? Am I balancing my sleep patterns? Like start at the simple things, the roots, and go back to that. Proper hydration, making sure you're getting your trace minerals, electrolytes, your magnesium, your potassium, absolutely imperative for proper body function. So you can go back to the basics and really start there. If you want to add on some biohacking techniques, I'm a huge fan of infrared sauna. So good to detox, so good,
Very good.
on that inflammation in the body. It made such a difference when I was having cystic acne is phototherapy. So I was doing red light and then also blue light, which a lot of people don't know of, but it's really good if you have acne. It does dehydrate the skin if you don't, but it's so good at actually killing bacteria under the skin, getting rid of that congestion, those pustules that are under the skin. So I really suggest that if you're having acne. I'm a huge fan of ozone. I have my own Simply O3 generator at home, which I use a few times a week. I actually had mold poisoning in my last apartment, and it was just so amazing at clearing up any of the issues that it caused in my skin. It's so good for the immune system. It really does act to kill a lot of bad agents in the body. I'm sure you know. So a huge fan of ozone therapy. Adding in those little techniques on top of kind of going back to your roots and just changing a few of those patterns in your daily routine can make a huge difference.
Yeah, wonderful things. I like that. I was not aware of the blue light impact on, specifically for acne or those types of things. Ozone, I was going to ask you, how you were using it. Do you ever see using ozone in any of your product line?
I've looked into ozone oils for topical. Right now, we're kind of like at a phase 1. So we're really getting the word out there. And because we want to make it like super affordable, accessible, I think our phase 1, we're going to stick to the basics. Don't want to complicate it. I just want to get it out to as many women as possible. Phase 2, we're definitely going to add in some premium products. We have some peptides and some other really exciting.
Oh, very good.
Adding in for anti-aging a little bit later after we kind of get through this first phase of infiltrating more of the mass market retailers.
Awesome. And that is, I want to follow up on that because that is one of the questions I want to kind of ask when we get a little bit closer to wrapping up is your future products. So go into just a couple more of your products and share, I'm interested in the, the different, ingredients that you've already shared some of those ingredients, but maybe pick a couple of products that we haven't really touched on. Maybe I think there was one that I looked up, but which one was it? Can't remember, but it had the mushroom ingredient in it and frankincense and a couple other ingredients. Frankincense is such a good anti-inflammatory essential oil.
It is. There's some properties to frankincense and also licorice root that are wildly anti-inflammatory. So good for the skin. And just to kind of talk about KOA as a whole, it really is a holistic approach to skincare. So just the ethos behind it for one quick second before we dive into things is, we wanted to create this healthy ritual for women, and women, a lot of the times, they put themselves on the back burner. So they put their kids, their husband, their career before themselves. And they're like, I'm going to get to my health, my workouts, my proper skin regime later. And typically that doesn't happen. So we wanted to give women an easy way to just take back those 10 minutes a day to create this routine, this healthy lifestyle where they can slow down. They can use products that have aromas and ingredients and wash and massage technique that actually stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system, put you at ease and peace to really have that 10 minutes a day to invest in your health and have sort of a holistic approach to skincare.
So important.
Yeah, so important. And it's the same as having a healthy, mindful practice in your daily routine. You have to have those times to slow down. And this is just an easy, practical way of something you have to do anyways in your day to create kind of a holistic practice around it. So our products are really designed to be in kits or bundles. So depending on your skin concern or depending on your skin issue, you can shop by bundles or skin concern or skin issues. So for example, I went over the vitamin C collection. So if you're having trouble with dark spots, you want to lighten and brighten your skin, you want to kind of reverse photo aging, which is caused by the sun, I would definitely recommend the vitamin C collection. If you are looking to anti-age, the face oil, which you're referencing, is called our Fountain of Youth. So that's our anti-aging daily face oil. So you can use this instead of a moisturizer, and oils are so popular right now. A lot of people think, well, is it going to congest my skin or give me acne? But what we use are smaller particles. So they actually go deeper into the dermal layer instead of sitting on top of the skin. So they don't actually clog the pores, and they're really hydrating. We have frankincense, we have shiitake mushroom, which I think you were referencing, for oils, jasmine, rose hip, all things that are amazing for anti-aging and for really deeply hydrating skin. So Fountain of Youth, we call it small but mighty. It is a potent formula that's really good for anyone that has kind of aging skin, dry, dull skin. It really brightens the skin and creates kind of this radiance, and it's lightweight. So if you are just getting into oils, I always suggest the Fountain of Youth as a oil 101, and you can kind of try it out, get used to it. If you want something that's a little bit more potent, a little bit thicker, I would say the Glow Oil. And that's one of our Halo products. It's our premium CBD product. It is just amazing for treating things like eczema or psoriasis or dry patches. It's deeply hydrating. It's a rose oil base with full spectrum CBD, hibiscus, licorice root, our herbal complex that we use in a lot of our formulas.
What does the future really look like? You said you're kind of looking at some different things that may be coming down the road, and what are some of the aspirations?
Sure. So we're always going to be expanding our core topical product line. We have a seaweed-based collection coming out next spring, summer, which I'm really excited about. We have some serums, some cleansers. So just for people that want sort of a gentle skincare that has all those amazing nutrients that are in seaweed. Also, again, piston and all that good stuff. It's really calming and soothing to the skin, and especially for summer when the skin can get super dry. So we launched that next year. We also, as I mentioned, internal health is just so important for external health. So later on in the next phase, we'll be looking at creating some of our supplements to go with the topical products. So I'm personally really thrilled for that. They're kind of regimes that I've been using on the daily in my own life, and I've really been testing a lot of that. So external and internal beauty is kind of the phase 2. So I can't wait to launch that. But first we're going to start with the topical products and really just get the word out.
That's awesome. I'm curious, and we've talked a little bit about the sun. And what about things, and I don't know if you've looked into this, but considering the sun, like sunscreens more, I'm always wanting, if I want to use a sunscreen, I try not to, because I just want to allow my body to get that melanin production up. But if I wanted to use one, I want to use one that's natural, and I don't trust what I see out there in the market as natural. So sunscreen was one question I thought to ask. And then things like skin abrasions and or sunburns and or any other types of burn. Is there any future for, those types of, products?
Yeah. And that's such a good question, because sunscreen is one of the toughest things. And I don't use sunscreen a lot because you're blocking certain UV, but you're letting in the bad UV. So it's like kind of a catch-22. And a lot of people don't know that. So I'd actually prefer to spend less time in the sun and not use a sunscreen, and then make sure my products that have things like jojoba oil and all these natural oils that are in our KOA Life products that actually work as a shield against the sun. You just have to make sure you're not baking in the sun for too long. And I'm Irish Canadian, so I have very fair skin. So I'm very cognizant of this. And I had really bad hyperpigmentation for years, which I actually cured through using our vitamin C cleanser every single day, doing a double cleanse takes about 2 months to start seeing results. And then it really, really does work. But yeah, I would definitely tend to do a natural oil and just monitor the amount of time you spend in the sun over using any over-the-counter sunscreen. If you are going to go for a sunscreen, zinc oxide, definitely mineral sunscreen is all you want to do. Make sure it's natural, make sure it's organic. Do not use anything typically that is sold at a drugstore unless you know it's really natural. So we've actually been looking into tinted sunscreens to develop with KOA. Again, it's such a specific thing. So you want to make sure that you're offering the right product. So we have another collaboration that we've been kind of diving into. It's a little bit early in talks to kind of get into, but it is a tinted sunscreen as well.
Yeah. And I think that's such great information. I've just tried to share with my patients, hey, spend, 10, 20 minutes, and especially I live in the Northwest, not too far from Vancouver. And so, we have to kind of be pretty careful once the sun starts showing up a little bit more often. And I just try to share people, let your body get used to it before you go out there and cook yourself. And then, ultimately, I totally agree. Take care of the inside of your body so that it can it can deal with the exposures and in that way. So yeah, any other, as we're getting kind of close to wrapping up here, any thoughts or products or things to share?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say if there's any takeaway from this conversation is really be cognizant of if you're going to use a product, what ingredients are in the product. I would stay away from chemicals at all costs. There are just too many effects on the body that can cause disease and harm. Another thing is, besides even the chemicals in some of these products, a lot of them have heavy metals. There's things like arsenic, cadmium, lead, mercury, and nickel in some of these cosmetics, so even makeup, nail polish, shampoo, skincare products, you would never consider ingesting those things, but you're putting it on your skin and it goes into your bloodstream. So whether you try KOA Life, obviously I vouch for my products. I know that the integrity is there, but whether it's our brand or another, just all I can say is ditch the chemicals, go green, know exactly what's in the product, go with a company that is fully transparent about their ingredients, has a good ethos, and that everything is tested and tried. And definitely look out for those before and after and testimonials, because that's such a good way to kind of look into a brand.
Yeah, and that's, I think, great information. I'm glad that you just shared a couple of summary tips. There's so much more that we could get into if we really wanted to dive even deeper. So I really appreciate what you've shared today. And I encourage everybody to consider what we've talked about and check out your website. I think that's one place that people can follow up with you. And any others?
Yeah, so we have a big business on Amazon. Everything is That KOA Life. So you could just look it up on Amazon. We have our full collection there. ThatKOALife.com is our website, and we'd love to offer your listeners a free cleanser. So we're doing that with any purchase of $49. So that's about 2 products. We'll throw in our best-selling cleanser, which is a $30 value, and the code is just free cleanser at checkout. I'm also a wealth of knowledge, and I love really just engaging with our community. So if anyone has questions, reach out to me. It's Navin Twins or That KOA Life on Instagram. I'm always happy to help with little recommendations about internal health, about skin health, about my different biohacks that have worked for me.
That is awesome. I'm excited that you're doing what you're doing. You and your sister are doing what you're doing. I think it's so important. I hope it grows widely because it's such an important part of healthcare. It's just been overlooked. You just can't, and this is no pun, you can't cover up, bad health. And ultimately you want to actually be healthy on the inside and then really try to showcase it with how you take care of your skin topically. And so I just think it's wonderful what you're doing, and I hope people take advantage of what you have to offer. So thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, this has been really fun. Thanks, Damon.
Yo, you bet. Everyone have a great day.